Rupaya Sarvananda Vidayini Ye Shri Guru Jnanadadina Bandho Swananda Data Karnaika Sindho Vrindavanavasi Naikavatara Prasida Radha Pranaya Prachara Trayasvabho Jagannatha Guru Samsara Vandina Dagdam Mam Kaladashtam Chatvam Sharanam Gata Radha Sanmukha Samsaktim Saki Sangha Nivasinim Twamaham Satatam Vande Guru Rupam Param Sakti Jaya Navadvipa Navapradeepa Prabhava Pashandaga Jaika Simha Swanama Sankhya Japasutradari Chaitanya Chandra Bhagavan Murari Bhaktiyavina Parada Lakshay Chittasya Kamaditaranga Madhye Krupavai Tvam Sharanam Prapanna Vande Namaste Charanavindam Vande Namaste Charanavindam Vande Namaste Charanavindam Sri Chaitanyam Mano Vishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutam Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Sri Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Sri Gaura Bhaktavranga Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Let me offer my prayers for the presence of the lotus Gurudev, Vanga Guru Varga, Vasita Vaishnava Vishnu. This is about the scientific evidence for the existence of God. And for devotees, it may not make much sense because they already believe it, right? They all have trust in God. Then why do we talk about it, right? See, Swami Maharaj and also Bhaktivedanta entire artistic life, they stress so much on this because what is the population of, for example, this country, right? Ireland, and how many people are there in devotees? Very insignificant. But if you want to make a big dent on it, the university, the educated people, the professors, should be convinced of it. Right? It is not right now. It's the other way around. 99.99% are all agnostics. They have no faith in us. But how to convince them? How to bring them into our fold? So that's why Swami Maharaj put so much effort. Right? He started what he called Bhaktivedanta Institute (BI). I met Sarup Damar Maharaj in 84, 85 in California. When I completed my doctorate, at that time, and he wanted to immediately join BI because so much importance was given. Because you need to establish, if the universities accept, if new departments opens up, and there is an interest in this, and it can change, the Krishna consciousness can change even material well-being of the people, believe me or not. It's only a matter of few years. I may not able to go into every detail. There's so many things can be talked behind. But this is a general picture. So also Gurudev also gave instruction, that to continue this scientific preaching, scientific research, and he authorized us to start one actually one website we just started, International Spiritual and Science Research Organization, ISSR. If you look at it, issro.org, few things probably you will see. So he also, because the importance in this, Swami Maharaj said, if you establish existence of Krishna by sign, you would have proved, you have preached 1,000 times more than what I have done. So much interest. Because universities, you can imagine it, the university started, studying Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and they, instead of me knocking on their door, if they can invite us, hey, please come, please come. You see the big difference. I hope I'm praying that will happen very soon. So because the signs are there all around. They said may not go to detail, but believe me that the trend is there. So in that respect, is a attempt on it, because Bhakti is Swarup Damodar so much he wanted to prove. Bhakti Rakshaka Sridhara Maharaj, subjective evolution, look at those. And our entire discipline succession put so much effort on this. So in this way, now this is initially we see the Ramayana, and then because this itself challenging the scientist, okay, many ways. And then we will continue even further details, to establish, like I'm establishing scientifically, okay, not to you people, to advanced, really scientists who are Nobel laureates, for those kind of people, existence of subtle body, the Sukshma Deha. Once you, then the Atma, existence of Atma and Paramatma and Bhagavan, scientific. And of course, many things are there. So today and tomorrow, you can see. Now this is about the Ramayana. You can see this is Lanka. This is India. The tiny part is actually Rameshwaram. Many of you have gone to Rameshwaram, you recognize. Like this is the NASA picture. This is actually the Setu, Ram Setu. This is Rameshwaram. Now this is I took up this because there is one verse in Ramcharitamanas. Now Ramcharitamanas was dear to Gurudev. Gurudev is very expert in Ramayana. So Mama Krutu Setu Jo Darishanu Kari So Shrama Baba Sagara Kari. Mama Krutu, Ram is telling. Mama Krutu Setu, the bridge that I built by me. If somebody takes darshan of that, then they will very easily cross over the material ocean. So, and that bridge is is amazing. Actually, Hanuman every day circumambulates this bridge. It's not ordinary. It's not different from Lord Ram. And the stone from that bridge even today floats in the water. So we'll see that. So Gurudev is talking on that. Vando Guru Pada Kanja Krupa Sindhu Nara Rupa Hari. Maha Mohatama Punja Jasu Machana Ravi Saranika. This is from Ramcharitamanas. He is no other than Sri Hari himself in human form, and whose words are sunbeams as it were, dispersed in the mass of darkness, the form of gross that we are in. Now the importance of Ramayana, you probably know most of it. It raises our awareness and consciousness from Achadita to Vikasita, Purna Vikasita. Ramayana is inspired poets around the world, and Ramayana is universal. It has a human values. It harmonizes all aspects and all stages of entire lives. Now, how do we establish the scripture, paintings, temple carving, drama, living tradition, Nyasa's shadow pictures, evidence from Sri Lanka. Now, how this bridge was made. Valmiki Ramayana tells us how this bridge was built. It was built in 5 days. Krutani Pratamenaha Yojanani Chaturdasha. Chaturdasha, 14 yojanas in the very first day. You can imagine it was not on the land, it was on the sea. Okay? At that time, I believe the depth of water is about 40 kilometers. No, not 40 kilometer depth of water. Built. And it was 112 miles in first day, and then 80 miles wide. 10 yojanas wide and 14 yojanas long. Now, why it was built so fast? Because when Hanuman met Mother Sita, Sita said, I will give you only 1 month more. Or by 1 month, Ram should come and rescue me. Just only 1 month is left. So Ram doesn't have too many years to build the bridge. So he dedicated only 5 days to build this. So second day he built 20 yojanas, third day 21 yojanas, fourth day 22 yojanas, fifth day 23 yojanas. So if we add 14 plus 20, 21, 22, 23, it comes to 100 yojanas and 10 yojanas wide. That's built, And you can imagine, as you go deeper and deeper to this sea, it should slow down, right? No, it's becoming faster. So that shows the enthusiasm, all the Vanaras, monkeys, so much enthusiastic. It was like a play for them. They build that. And then when they build that, there are many Ramayana. Charita Ramayana. This is Indonesian Ramayana. Like that, Tulsi Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, Kampa Ramayana. There are so many Ramayana. Sometime I said, wait a minute, why there are so many varieties Ramayana and why there are little difference? The thing is, the Gnostics may not understand. See, for different ages, different times, the Lord has revealed himself, like Krishna's Leela, right? Nava Yauvanamcha is eternal, Same way, Ram Leela is also eternal. It's going on some different planet. So the devotees who Ram wants to reveal that, he will take you to that, where the Brahmanda, where Ram's Leela is taking place right now. And then Ram Leela and Krishna Leela they don't repeat. Okay? Krishna and Ram Leela doesn't repeat. Now, how do you say that? Even it can be found, for example, can you find two people having same fingerprint? Two people having same print of the tongue? No, nothing. Can you find two people having same DNA? Not even the twins. We don't give two cars having same registration number, right? So like that, uniqueness. No two buildings have same address. You understand? Same way, the Leela of Ram and Krishna is not the same. It may appear like same, but it is not. No two leaves are identical in this material. Can you believe that? But looks same, but actually it is not. Same way, you see, you get so much snowflakes, right? How much snow you get in the winter, right? Plenty. How many snowflakes are there? Can anybody count? And you will find, scientists are saying you will not find two snowflakes. I believe that. No two snowflakes are same. Actually, our acharyas go to that extent. There are no two identical electrons. Science has come to the understanding there are no two identical atoms, but our acharyas go even much further. Why is that? Because in the Lord's creation, there is no need of duplication. Because he has no abhava, he has no scarcity of anything, right? So why you need to make two duplicates? So like that. So in this case, when Ram was, so the reason is, so he shows different Leela of Ram, and that's why different acharyas who put down, like in Samadhi Bhashya, like Jaiva Dharma. Jaiva Dharma is a Samadhi Bhashya. Jaiva Dharma actually took place. And Bhaktivedanta Thakur has observed that and he put it down. So same way this Ramayana is also like that. These are all Samadhi Bhashya. They saw that and they put it down, right? So that's why you see the little difference. Huh? So that actually adds to the sweetness. Huh? So in this case, in this Charita Ramayana, here Lord Ram or Lakshmana walking on the bread, and the description is such that nobody saw any water. Why? Because all the water was covered with all the jivas, living entities. They came to take a darshan of Lord. And very small to the very big. See, you can see the big one. How big? They're 80 miles long. Actually, they exist. But how do I justify? You can find later. You can find later. So like that, because every jiva wants anxious. Like one time I remember, I told some devotee when Gurudev was walking along in the morning walk, right, along in Malaysia, and the people saw all the fishes. See, there is water under down, right? All the fishes were up, taking darshan of Gurudev was walking. Like that, it attracts. Okay, that attracts to the love. So same way, this is what being told in Bhagavad Gita. Janma karma cha me divyam yom yam veti tattva tyaktva devam punarjanma. Because we do not understand the appearance and disappearance of Lord is divya, is divya, transcendental. We have to take birth again and again till we understand that. And that's why Lord Ram put a signature. He left a signature. Nobody can say, hey, wait a minute, Ram did that. Because the bridge that he built, it is so powerful. I'll tell you. Why he built that bridge? Because there was no need. Actually, Samudra Raja, the king of Samudra, said, oh Lord, you can do anything you want. Yeah, agatana. You can make impossible possible. What is the problem? If you want, you can walk over the water. No, it will not provide any obstacle. But I pray to you, I pray to you because you leave such a wonderful signature, wonderful thing behind, so that the future generation who is going to come will appreciate, will have no doubt that you existed, and that will make them, their life successful. And that's the reason why Lord Ram did that. There was no need. So where is that bridge? We are somewhere here, right? Somewhere in Holland is somewhere here. So many of you, most of you have gone to India, you know that. This is Delhi here, and this is southern part, India. Bangalore, where I come from, is somewhere here. Chennai is there, and then here. Bombay is here, and this is Lanka, and this is there. So if we make one more step, this is the path that Lord Ram took. This is Ayodhya, Chitrakoot, Panchavati, Kishkinda, then Rameshwar. So there are so many amazing things. Telling this one place here, I don't know, it was Kaliga. Maybe I mentioned it. There is a amazing things out of this world. Or tell you out of this. One thing I can tell you is that there is a hill that about 1,000 feet high, and the water keeps on flowing out of this stone. This almost 1 feet, half a feet diameter, maybe one feet down depth in the stone, 1,000 feet high. So much water comes out of it. Now the scientists, this is in the forest, scientists are wondering, wait a minute, where this water is coming from? Because there is no bore, there is no well, there is no electricity. And they speculated maybe it is coming there, under the skin, right? So they drill into the stone to find. They didn't find it. So this is the question. So I went there, I took the permission of the forest officer in charge. I emptied it, water came out, and then I tested that water. Simple testing reveals where the water is coming from. the pH is 7. You know what pH is? Neutral, 7. Hardness is 26. So hardness 26 meaning that itself will tell you where it is coming from if you understand it, the number. So generally the drinking water, for example, right? This water, maybe I don't know where this water is obtained. The hardness will be like somewhere around 150, 150, 200. This is potable water drinking. This water originally, like in India, when they put the bore, usually it will be like 500, 400. It's not that much drinkable. So they use the filter to bring the hardness from 500 to say 150. To do that, if they start with 1000 liters, they end up with say around 200 liters, about 800 liters wasted. Now the purity of this water coming out this place is 26. That means if you start with 1000 liters, say 500, say 400 hardness, you will get this much of water. Like you can take like tirtha, so pure. So that pure water, can it come from the bottom, from the earth? No way. Can it go from anywhere? No way. So where it is coming from, it is actually manifesting right in front of our eyes and flowing out. There is no other way. And it's still happening, because how it happened, Lord Ram, when he came to this place, he wanted to put on tilak in the morning. He saw no water, so he did like this. On the stone, Ganga came and it's still coming. Satya Sankalpa. And so it manifested right there and it's still continuing after million years. So like that. And if you go closer, the Rameshwaram, sit in mainland India, Rameshwaram is in the shape of a conch, like the conch we blow, like shank. And then this is the braid. This is actually Ram Setu braid, but it is named as Adam's braid. It is in the international, Why is that? Because the Adam happens to also walk on that braid, they say. And also one of the engineer happens to be Adam. He found that and he put his name on it. So it is so like that. And then this is the survey map of Ramesh. I went there, did a lot of research, because the NASA picture doesn't have the scale. So I wanted to find the scale to measure it, what actually it is. So different parts of it. If you happen to go to Rameshwaram, you can see this main temple. It is not small, about 20 acres, really big. All the tirthas are inside, and then like this, And then this is the bridge connecting mainland to Rameshwaram from this side. It's about 2.2 kilometers. Now, when the NASA people were actually, NASA is observing all this for a last maybe 50, 60 years since the satellite came out, but they are not telling the world. But somehow something leaked out in 2000. Then the thing came out about the age of this is 1.75 million years. Okay, and the curvature, unique curvature composition level, that is. Then what happened was, now he cannot find this. He cannot find this, nor the pictures, because these two invalidate Darwin theory. According to Darwin, man did not exist. And then then the question comes: if a human existed and they were so advanced in building a bridge across the sea, so big that even today we cannot do that. Wait a minute, where did they come from? How did it happen? See, it will throw all that theory into garbage, so they denied. So this is the aerial view. If you go on a flight on a clear day, you go like that, you get the steps. Now this is the NASA picture. This is Lanka, part of the Lanka, and this is the grid, and then this is Rameshwaram. And the date, time, and the satellite name and the sequence number, you can see the net. Every 6-7 seconds, the satellite moving, taking a photo. Like that. About hundreds of miles above. Like 94, 312, March 12, 94, 7:45:27. Morning. 7 o'clock 45 minutes 27 seconds. Yes, yes, yes. And you can see this is the entire Lanka. Can everybody see? Lanka. And this is the bridge. It's not a small. And you can see, we can see later. As it moves along the satellite, you can see the bigger picture. And then this is the antenna. This is the Setu. 3:12. And then this is the night time. 3:45 in the morning. Somehow satellite is going on. This is maybe clouds or the waves. I think probably clouds. And then this is 4/16, April 16, like a summertime. Summertime in India and Lanka. You can see it like a highway. Not like that. And you can see, for example, in this one, this is Chennai, Madras, and Bombay is somewhere there. Now, no ships can go through here or come through here. This bridge is not small, as you can see. And the depth of water today is about 1 kilometer. And the bridge, see the curvature, it is curved. So that curving means actually it is designed by human. Because I'm also a structural engineer. I'm a licensed engineer in US. As a structural engineer, we know that any bridge you build across the sea will not be straight for us. Stability purpose, it will be curved, and you can clearly see that. And also, if you take on a bigger scale, entire India, Asia, and all that, it is still visible. It's not a small bridge. And one thing we wanted to stress is actually, if the government is willing, I think there is a lot more, things will come out of this. Because if you undergo underwater thing here, I'm pretty sure that the water is flowing from this side to that side. It's like a bridge. If that can be proven, it will change the whole world. Because this bridge is not small. It is 2 miles wide. Today, it is 2 miles wide. So who can build, who can 2 miles wide and underwater? Can it naturally happen? So that will really put the things in perspective. If that can be. Now, the one question comes, maybe because I had this question. See, Valmiki Ramayana says length 100 yojanas, 800 miles long, width is 18 miles. And then today it is not that much, because by the scale, NASA's scale, is about 19 miles and width is about 1.9, 2 miles, 20 miles. Now, the question comes, wait a minute, what happens to 800 miles and to 20 miles, right? That's the question. So I was praying to Gurudev and then answered. You take the ratio of the length to the width. For example, here, length to the width. If you take what happens, 100 by 10, 10:1. Same thing here, 90 by 10:1. See, the same ratio. Now, what does it mean? It tells you a lot of things. At that time, it is an amazing result. If scientists accept this, it will help a lot. It will solve most of their problems. Cosmological problems, physics problems. Why? See, what it means is the Earth was big at that time, Rama's time. And now it becomes shrunk, becomes small. So the ratio length to the width remains the same. Well, so how do we understand further? Suppose we take an atom nucleus, and then they say electron is going around. But how long is it going to keep on going? Right? It's going to lose energy. As it loses energy, it's going to shrink. Right? Or 1 million years, 1.7 million years. Right? So almost 2 million years, the atom shrinks. So if all the atoms shrink, what happens? And the length to width remains the same. And that's exactly what. It also means when they see the cosmos, they say, oh, it's expanding in billions and billions, right? So it's all wrong, actually, it's all bogus. It cannot be true because they are misinterpreting the contraction to the expansion. Nothing can be moving because it's stationary. If it is moving, as they think, but why not we are feeling? Suppose you are traveling in the car 100 miles per hour, you shake, right? Train, we shake. But if the whole earth is also moving that fast, wait a minute, don't we feel? And how buildings are stable, long, huge building. So it is not true, and that's what the Bhagavatam fifth canto also corroborates. So this is and also see in the Bhagavatam, Muchukunda, right? The story of Muchukunda. He is sleeping, remember? And then Lord Krishna brings that Yavana in the cave. And then Krishna goes away, and then Muchukunda, Yavana thinks, oh, Krishna is sleeping, right? He kicks him. What happens? He opens his eyes, he gets burned. Right? So our Acharya says, actually, Krishna entered into the his eye of the Muchukunda, and he killed him. So, but of course, he got the Sukruti of killing, and that's why he had Sukruti to see Krishna darshan. That's how they. So, and when Muchukunda came out of the cave, he saw, wow, people are sharp, the trees are sharp, right? Because he's from Satyuga. In Rameshwaram itself, there is one samadhi I saw, it's still there, about 40 feet long, and then about 5-6 feet wide. One person samadhi. It's still there right across the main road. So many things corroborate that way. Now, how it was built, Ramana. There are many stories that Gurudev used to tell. The Naam, by writing the Naam on the stones. Now, what is the power of Naam? Gokoti Danam Grahaneka Jasya Prayaga Gangodaga Kalpavasa. Yajnaitum Meru Suvarnadanam Govinda Kirtane Na Samasatamsha. See, if you give charity, cows, right? 1 million cows on the eclipse day. Then even if you give gold as high as Mount Meru is not visible, but it is 1,000 times more than Mount Everest. Even if you are able to give that much, it is not equal to 1% of the one name of Krishna. So Govinda, so much, so powerful. And on 2 days later, we will talk about the Naam Tattva, then why we should chant 64 rounds, and many questions, many things on the Naam. Because it's very essential if we have to progress in the Bhakti. Now, Ramayana also says, Valmiki Ramayana, he says, he who does not see Rama and he whom Rama does not see become ridicule in the eyes of the people. Why we become ridicule in the eyes of the people? Here is the reason. Okay? And why our own self doesn't like us? Because of this. We forget Ram, and then that's what happens. Now, the Harvard University Mind Body Medical Institute, they also did a lot of research. 25 years of research on the chanting of the holy name. They have done it. And their conclusion is that 1 hour of chanting is much more than 7 hours of deep sleep. You get much higher relaxation. This change in oxygen consumption, this is hour. 1 hour. And they say this is best medicine for most of the chronic diseases. Best medicine. Why it is not being manufactured? Because nobody can make patent on it. Nobody can make money on it. But otherwise it is true. I can watch so many examples, so many stories, when the time comes, day after. Now, regarding the paintings, there's so many paintings, you must have seen it. This is Ganga, right? And then this is Chitrakoot here, and then Bharata and Kaikeyi, all the mothers have come to cross the Ganga. And when they cross, they hug each other, Ram and Bharat. And I have seen when Ram and Bharat hug, the Nisha, their footprint is put on the stone, like when you go to Vrindavan, you see the footprint of Krishna, like that Ram Bharat is there, Chitrakoot, and so many other things. Now this is all the Sita was found, Janak Maharaja is plowing, and there is a nice temple there. And then also the Ram lifted the Dhanush, right? That Dhanush is still there, the Shiva Dhanush, which is about 30 feet long. And scientists have taken material from that and they cannot figure out what it is. Like that. Now, of course, Hanuman burned Lanka. He did not burn himself. He asked the permission. See, Hanuman, he never did anything on his own. Okay? He asked the permission of Lord Ram through Marus. Oh Lord, can I burn the Lanka? He burnt it. Now today, what is the evidence he was burnt? If you look at the soil of Lanka, it's all black even today. And the tail of monkeys in Lanka is all black even today. In the memory of Hanuman, they put the so there is a carvings, some stone carvings like that. It's all proof that Ramayana is a living tradition from on, so many. And then like Krishna, even the puppets, you can see the monkeys, and then Ravana. I remember when I was small, I used to see this in my village. I used to come and do. And then there is a flower in Himalaya, just looks like Hanuman. And then there is evidence from Lanka, many evidences. Now look at the stone from the bridge, like I was telling you, it is very difficult to rise, heavy, but it floats. Now this is Kishkinda, this is Lanka, Sitalaya. There are so many things in Lanka. Actually, when Hanuman brought the medicine, right, from Himalayas, something fell there. Now, even today, that hill is there in Lanka, and the biologists, zoologists, right, botany scientists say the mud from that doesn't match Lanka. They say it must be foreign to Lanka. So, corroborating that from there. Now, this is where Ravana was there. And then this is where Sugriva met Ram. I've been many times in this case where Ram met Sugriva, and this is where Sugriva kept all the jewels that Sita dropped from the sky. And then this is the mountain in Lanka. This is when after Mother Sita met Hanuman met Sita, he wanted to return back, right, of burning. So this is where he took off. He needed a eye, right, to jump off, right? And I believe there is a footprint of Hanuman even today on this. Yes, people go very. Now, if you look at the age, now Kali Yuga is about 432,000 years. Dwapara is twice, 864. Treta is 3 times, and Satya Yuga is 4 times, right? Now, if you take suppose if the bridge is built at the end of Treta Yuga, that means you have 864,000 years, 0.8 million years, right? That's roughly. If it is done in the beginning of Treta Yuga, then 0.8 plus 1.2 million. It comes to 2 million. So the upper bound is 2 million, lower bound is 1 million. And that's what they are saying. They are saying 1.75 million. So it kind of matches. Now, sometimes they say, I believe they will raise so many issues. Wait a minute, the world is full of so many plates, major of plates. Now, who knows what, when they moved, where, what happened. So, if you look at India and then Lanka, see, Lanka is no longer visible because of the world map, huh? Becomes small. And the bridge is also. But if you look at it, both bridge and the Lanka, India, South India, is within this plate, Indian Australian plate. So if the plates move, they move together. It doesn't do anything. The plates moving. So contraction of matter, like I was giving, even if scientists, they accept contraction of consciousness. Sankuchita, Mukulika, Vikasita, Purusakita. Now the Japamala 108 beats, right? One of the reason is, if we take 108 times the sun diameter, use the mean distance between sun and the earth, same, no? So that means from here to sun, if you put 108 of the sun, you reach the sun. So there is a meaning to the 108 from this point of view. And then the velocity of light also. From the Rig Veda, 185,000 miles, 186,000 miles is accepted. So it comes pretty close. Pretty close. Now, so this is about, there are many things we can talk about now, but what we do is but why I'm showing this is, the bridge is so amazing, understand? Is so amazing that it is not it is man-made. It is not naturally made. If it is naturally made, usually you will have a distribution like this, right? Bell distribution, normal distribution, right? But the bridge is like this, like this. Can you imagine this? This is naturally made. Somebody built it. Otherwise, how it will be like this, right? So, like that, this is a very, very, very powerful proof, because if you put everything, you cannot deny that it is not related to. The story is there, the path is there, so many things. Rameshwaram is there, so many things, living tradition. So you cannot. This gives you one evidence that that no one can shake. You understand? That it really happened, and you can perceive it. And if so can we go further? From the scientific point of view, I'm calling the quanta prajna the soul, because what the scientists, if we talk soul, Paramatma, Bhagavan, Lord, they will probably walk away. So you have to use a different terminology. So I'm calling quanta prajna as the soul, para quanta prajna the subtle body, the existential quanta prajna as Brahma, supreme quanta prajna as the super soul, absolute quanta prajna as supreme soul. So we establish all this from the scientific point of view. How do we do that? Suppose we take the nature of light, for example. See, the Darwin cannot touch this light, because what he can say? Evolution of light, right? He cannot do that. But the question is, light has a dual nature. Scientists understand, right? Is it particle or a wave? And nowadays, actually, it is both, same time. Like Achintya Veda Veda Tattva, right? Simultaneously one and different, and we cannot conceive of it. Our mind cannot think of how it is possible, and that's what exactly scientists have come to understanding of nature of light today. Light has dual nature. Because of the dual nature, the photosynthesis is possible. You remember, see, without photosynthesis, you think anyone can be sitting in this room? Nobody can, right? Without photosynthesis, we cannot be living, right? Neither animals either. Photosynthesis meaning what? The leaves, right? You see, now we have a beautiful spring, right? Most of the trees are green. So it is producing, taking sunlight, carbon dioxide that we give out, right? We always give out bad things, right? We take nice water, what comes out of our body, right? Food, right? Nice fruits and all that, what comes out, right? But the trees, it takes what we give out, converts back into what we want it. See? So like that is not possible without that dual nature. And same thing, Raman effect, Compton effect. And also imagine if light coming from the sun, what is the speed of the light? Is about 300 million kilometer per second. 300 million kilometer per second. Huge. And if light had any mass, what would have happened? It would have acted like a bullet and everybody in the force, right? Nobody would have survived. Do you understand that? If light had any mass, nothing would have survived with that speed. Right? So light has no mass. So that means somebody decided, wait a minute, so long. And we cannot destroy the sun too. It's so far away. We can put so many atom bombs here, but what it can do? It will be like a striking a match in this sun, atom bomb for the sun relative. So that means the light is actually equivalent to special glance of the non. Light is non-matter. Okay. For example, so many. If you take a glass of this, if you take glass, the light reflection, I'll show you. Light refraction goes and then comes out, right? Now the speed of the light in the air is 300 million kilometers per second. Glass refractive index is 1.5. The speed is lower, about 250 million kilometers per second. And it comes out again, it has to be 300 million kilometers, right? So it deaccelerates. When it comes out, it has to accelerate to the end. Right? You understand? Now, but light is passive and also glass is passive. Now, where it is getting energy to accelerate from 250 million inside the glass to 300 million outside the air. You understand? So what is scientist saying? No. Instantaneously, light changes from 300 million kilometer to 250 million kilometers instantaneously, and instantaneously changes back from 250 to 300 million kilometers. That's what. Now wait a minute. Have you have any of this experience? Something instantaneously changing in the speed. Suppose you are traveling at say 100 kilometers per hour. Can you come zero immediately? You will finish, right? Same thing, accelerate. So that means again, light is non-matter. Light is really non-matter. So that now also take this question, simple question. Here is the source of light. Here it gets concentrated, right? Now this is the reflecting surface. Now it has many paths to go, like this, like this, like this, right? Many other paths. But which path it takes? Why it is taking that path? What is the true path? Right? This is the question. Now the path that takes it, they say least time. It takes least time from going from here to there. Now you have come, most of you have come from your home to the temple, right? Now which path did you took? You took a path which takes least time, right? It did not go to India and then come here, right? Maybe Germany and come here, right? So use your intelligence. So that means if the light is also taking, least time from here to there, that means it has intelligence or guided by intelligence or maybe both, right? So that is the thing. Now, how do they find what the scientists say? They do not pay that much thing. What they do is make these variables, right? A, B, D, X, and then D minus I. They are trying to find X, which X gives this least time. So for that, they calculate this, differentiate with respect equal to 0, get the law of reflection. And they call it Snell's law of reflection. Angle of incidence equals angle of reflection. Wait a minute. So see, this proves everything actually. So that means the light has intelligence, guided by intelligence. Can we see that light is so fast? It's going so fast. And then also how it is being guided, each millimeter. I remember, right? Each millimeter. It's like, for example, many of you, all of you have GPS, right? Right? Tomorrow I will go more into detail. How it actually established sadhana, avideya, prayojana in this satellite. They use the principle, guru principle. Everything is there in GPS. Tomorrow I will discuss that. Now, you got the GPS, you enter the destination, you get the path, right? And then, so you get the path. So that means you have already reached there. No, you have to use local intelligence 1 feet at a time and then follow, right? They got the, right? Same way, this equation, they got it, and but who is guiding it to go there? You see what I'm saying? And also refraction, like that. So that means refraction follows it. EPR, same way, EPR paradox of wholly exclusive principle. And then human, 70 kg human has 10 to the power 27 atoms, right? In each atom, there are no two electrons and same quantum state, right? It's like two, like you remember, you're telling no two outside same atoms, right? No two like that. Similarly, no two electrons have same quantum state within an atom. Our atom is so small, but who is executing, who is enforcing that law? Right? Is all in government is going into all the atoms and saying, hey, you have to be right? But who is it? You understand? And there are so many layers. We take so many atoms everywhere, all around the universe. The iron, for example, behaves exactly like iron in India everywhere. Who is enforcing that? You understand? And that's what the Brahman, That's why it follows that intelligence must be everywhere at all times. It cannot see it, but it has to be there. It cannot deny it. It cannot deny it. So that is that kind of awareness, that kind of awareness. Now we take the nature of water. We live on a water planet, surrounding inside, outside. Actually, I can list about 48 qualities of water. Water is so amazing, so unique. Right now we see we have already established intelligence everywhere without even talking about any evolution. You understand? So that means what? Intelligence pre-existed before anything happened. So that means what happens to Darwin is out already, right? Just considering the light alone is out. You understand? So same thing, capillary movement, addition, cohesion, surface tension. Now you have seen in many plants, right? Now maple plants is probably seen, maple, right? They collect maple syrup, right? Now it has a xylem and a phloem, right? Xylem is actually inside that carries water from the earth to the leaves, right? So many leaves. Right? Then the phloem is what the leaves collects the sugar, right? Maple syrup and brings down and collects it. So it's flowing down. Now, usually when the maple syrup tree, when they cut it to collect the maple syrup, what do they do? They cut, right? And they collect it. So the phloem is actually outside. Suppose if it were inside, see what I'm saying? If the xylem were outside, that means the water, it will kill the tree. That means whoever designed the tree knew, hey, wait a minute, someday the human or somebody is going to harvest the sugar, right? So it was put outside. See what I'm saying? So all those thought has gone into that design. So like that, So we can see that great deal of thought must have gone into the manifestation of water. Planet Earth alone supports life because of water. Life is based on water, primarily of its unique properties ascribed first. Water could not have manifested without intelligence. Light first and next water are manifested in an interlocked fashion and to rely on one another for the next stage of intelligent life support. Right? So, see, you think Darwin, what's good anymore? He's already out. So this is how, if we can be accepted, see what I'm saying? If it is accepted and if it is taught, wait a minute, intelligence is everywhere. Intelligence is essential to the small children from children. Don't you think the world will change? Instead of producing this agnostic. And then Lord Krishna says, so many things in Bhagavad Gita, I'm the light of the sun, moon, I'm the taste of water, origin of all existence. Now someone actually asked me a question, whether the seed, we will go into that, the seed, first of all, if there is a mango tree, the question comes, mango tree came first or the seed came first? Right? The fruit. The fruit was there or the tree first? To get a fruit, you need a tree. To get a tree, you need a seed. Which came first? Right? Same thing, chicken and egg, like that. So we will answer that, very conclusively. So now, if you take, for example, living and non-living cycles, everything in this world is a cycle. Okay. For example, like plant seeds, for example, you have a mango tree, then a seed it produces, so it's a cycle. Get the point? It's a cycle. Numbers and operators, photosynthesis, male, female, flower, plant, protein and DNA, right? You need protein to make DNA and you need DNA to make protein. Which came first? Same problem. Protein first or DNA first? Cycle of silkworm, for example, then the uniqueness, everything is unique. They are man-made, nature, time validity, stability and control, and very important. Now, time validity is important. For example, suppose you go to a bank, right? You take your token, right? Take a token, and then say 20, for example. Then you are waiting and you get a term, 20 is called when you finish your thing and go away. Suppose there is a rumor saying that banks are going down. Suppose there is a rumor. What happens? Then 1,000 people walk into the bank. And then 1 to 100, the token turns 10 times, right? Because 1,000 people. So when you go with the number 20, and the clerk calls number 20, how many people will go having 20? 10 people. Confusion. See what I'm saying? So uniqueness implies the time validity. Same way this, for example, this is unique. If I find this person say 100 years later, it's a problem, right? If you use the land or some property like that. Now similarly, the seeds, for example, everything we talked about is unique DNA, including seeds. These are wheat seeds. You will not find 2 wheat seeds and same DNA anywhere in the world. Million years ago, million years to come. You can imagine the large database, accountings will be dead and gone, but it will not get repeated. See, in the Hindi, there is a one thing. Dane dane mein likha hai, khane wala ke naam. Suna hai? Dane dane mein, every grain, Lord has already put whom it's going to be as a food. He has already allotted. When a jiva is born, whatever the jiva, the life needs, it is already been allotted. We don't have to worry. The only thing we have to worry is about getting the Shuddha Bhakti. So, what you can imagine is accounting. Okay, if all these seeds, try to understand. It's not simple. If all these seeds now imagine how much wheat is grown around the world every year. How many tons? Millions of tons, isn't it? Maybe a billion tons, maybe thousands of millions of tons. Now, in millions of tons, how many wheat seeds are there? Billions, right? And no 2 billion, and then million years to come. So how many is right? And then there must be an accountant. Wait a minute, that cannot be repeated. See what I'm saying? Somebody checking database. It's the same thing as 2 vehicles, right? No 2 vehicles in the entire world have the same registration number. Why? Because there is a department. Every country, every nation has a department. There are people who are enforcement. There is a law, right? That's why they make sure it not get. So same way, if this thing is not repeated, right? For example, I will tell you this. Suppose you take this fingerprint, right? Fingerprint, we know it is not get repeated. Now, suppose I ask you, suppose you make a project, right? You are working on a project, you make a CD, right? Computer disk, right? Now, after making that CD, suppose if there is a scratch on the CD, what happens? It's gone, right? Now, if you want to make a new CD, what you have to do? That data must be intact in a computer. It is safe. Nobody has hacked it, right? And he has a permission to copy it. So then he can make a copy, right? Similarly, what you do is you cut this, maybe intentionally or unintentionally. Cut this, right? Make a little incision. What happens? After 2 weeks, it gets healed, right? After healing, you think he will get a different one? Get the same one. If you get the same one, let us ask the same question. Where is this data must be, right? I mean, somewhere in some other computer must be there. Somebody must have, well protected, and someone is copying. So when we are sleeping, you think somebody is coming and then without, notice writing on it. See how it is. Right? So there must be a department. Must be. It's like a vehicle, for example, vehicle has a plate, right? Registration. That the vehicle know that there is a motor vehicle department. The driver knows. What about vehicle? Which are the mark number? No, right? Same way, it must exist, but we cannot see them. It doesn't mean that it does not exist. Right? It does not exist. For example, same way, like because 10 years ago did he exist? Maybe, maybe not. But because he exists now, he must have existed 10 years ago. But he may, wait a minute. Same moment, 10 years ago, what were you doing if I ask that question? Can you say no? Because I don't remember. It doesn't mean that we did not exist then, right? The fact that we are existing now indicates that existed 10 years ago, 20 years ago, right? So like that. Then this is like this. This is typical cycle I take. You can see in this case, right? Later on prove that something enters here. Consciousness enters, and that is what keeping track of this. See, there is a change of hardware, right? Small, big. Goes to the 4 stages of fever because it is changing the skin, the tension to become big. So it sheds the skin 4 times. Then it becomes and it changes. See, the hardware, living hardware is constantly being changed. And then who is keeping track? The living software, the software that we cannot see. Like I was telling you, even this other software, if I explain, even this, but we cannot see what language it is written, how it is written, who is written. If we can convey that, I will tell you, whole world will change. Wait a minute, wow, unseen, So like that, Then evolution of consciousness is there, and then nature of consciousness. Brahman cannot be non-differentiated. Now, what it means is, see, the Mayavadis, we have to be very, very careful because they confuse you about consciousness. You really confuse you. That's why our Param Gurudev is to tell. You must really, really understand the consciousness aspect of it. Now, the consciousness is we can only perceive which has some difference. If there is no difference, we cannot perceive. Okay, that means non-differentiated does not exist. So the Mayavad is confused about that. Perception does not reveal merely existence. Consciousness and existence cannot be one. Consciousness is always self. Consciousness is not eternal. The self is not pure, but in nowhere. See, this is where they mislead. This is essential consciousness and it has attributes. Nowhere, product of ignorance, individual, to the Krishna, not to one. So this is the nature of consciousness. Now, why do we talk about consciousness? Because, see, as we told, uniqueness is everywhere, right? Everything we saw uniqueness. Now, uniqueness, how do you derive from the, like for example, in the computer operation, random number generator, probably you are familiar, random number generator, right? When you call the random number generator, again, there's a finite probability that you get back the same number. So to get the unique number, you call it, then you compare, then if it is same, you call again, then you keep storing. So you have to keep storing all the numbers. So many comparisons. Comparison meaning intelligence, right? Consciousness and storage. So that means that relation, that consciousness, the uniqueness indicate that must be intelligence. And because we see uniqueness, so this is, I'm giving different reasons, okay? Reasons why there is intelligence. Now we establish from the light, water, and then the uniqueness, like that. Now, plants also have intelligence, even without neurons. Playing of the sound of a caterpillar munching on leaves brings a defensive reaction. What do you mean this? Suppose if a caterpillar goes on our skin, whatever, we do like this, right? You don't like it. So it creates some kind of sound. So you record that sound very carefully, play it to the plant acts as if the caterpillar is going. That means it is reasoning. Otherwise, it is possible. No? So, and also they can sense gravity like that. Now, one thing is there, these bean plants, what it is here, you can see that one support is there, right? One support and two bean plants. And this presentation is done with the time-lapse photography, meaning every 5 minutes you take a picture, every 5 minutes, and they put like a video, and that's what you see. Two bean plants. Right.
Just in a completely other time dimension than we do. They seem still, they seem inactive, just because they're moving at a different scale than we are. And so time-lapse is a way to close the gap between the plant time scale and our own time scale. But as soon as you do that, you begin to see the plant for what it is, which is an agent of its own fate, and able to sense its environment and move in a certain direction. And as soon as you look at plants in time-lapse, you gain a new respect for them and what they can do, and that they are much more active. This video of the single plant reaching for the pole is striking for a couple things. Watch the leaves as the thing goes on. The leaves look very kind of clenched and tight, and they too are working hard to help the plant reach its goal. But as soon as the hook of the tendril reaches the pole, watch how they change their behavior. Instead of looking so strained and strenuous, they look like they're relaxing. They look very happy all of a sudden. And the nature of the motion and how effortful and striving it is. Basically, the bee plant grows a couple centimeters and throws itself over and over again with very good aim. It reminded me of someone with a fly rod casting repeatedly to hit a spot on a river. In the second video, we see two plants, bean plants, and they're competing for the same pole. And one of them gets the edge and is growing a little bit more quickly. And as soon as it makes contact, the other one seems to lose heart and suddenly stops aiming at the pole, which has been taken in some sense, and starts reaching in other directions behind the pole. You have to look carefully to see this, but it's reaching back in space and does that repeatedly, but there's nothing there. It's very sad, and there's nothing there for it to hold on to. And eventually, it just gives up in defeat. But somehow this plant is aware of its environment and is working really hard. I mean, striving to get to that pole. Now, words like striving and looking and knowing and noticing all are metaphorical in the case of plants, and we should be skeptical of this, of mood and attitude in plants. But it sure looks that way when you look at these videos.
See, you saw it, see the two bean plants. This is one support. You can see from beginning itself, they are going toward the center. Meaning from beginning itself, they knew the support is in the middle, right? So it's not going this side, right? It's not going this side. And then, as you saw, when this plant grabbed this became aware of it immediately, and this didn't want to disturb it. See, that means dharma, no? It is following the dharma. It didn't want to disturb.
Plant is clever. A human being will catch it.
Also, it also shows, no, wait a minute, if it becomes aware, that means it must have eyes, right? But this doesn't have neurons or the brain. Now, where are his eyes? And it's also growing. That means his eyes is growing bigger and bigger. You see what I'm saying? Actually, this is the question. No? So, these are the questions. For example, the same question. See, this is two coconut trees. You know, the coconut tree must have at least 20 feet wide. Otherwise, they bump into each other, right? Now, it so happens it's about only 8 feet. Now, look at the trees, how it looks. This way and this way. That means from the beginning itself, someone is telling, wait a minute, see, in the future you will have a problem, so better bend it.
Actually, or eyes?
Huh?
Is the sense feeling or eyes?
Eyes, it has the eyes. It has the eyes. It has the eyes. Because Sukshma Deha. See, again, this plant doesn't have. Now, the question is, see, another thing is, you have been to India many times, you know, India is full of coconuts, same thing, you know, other places, but no coconut falls on anybody, not even this big branch. Now, that means, say, in our ashram, in our mud, I sit behind, we have about 120 coconut trees. I always sit near and then talk and discuss Bhagavatam and everything. But we never had any fear, oh, it's going to fall on. Now the question is, how does it know? Suppose if it has eyes here, it can look only this side, it cannot look that side, right? If it is eyes on top, it may not be able to see down. See what I'm saying? And it is growing all the way along. So what kind of eyes? Does it have eye all around? It cannot, it doesn't have, because it doesn't have neurons or brain or anything. Like if my eye is there, I cannot see backside. And if I can turn like this, you think the tree can turn like this?
This feeling you can explain. You feel it.
Huh? So that's why I'm saying, so think about it, how it is. It has an eye, how it can have the eye such that it can see everything same time all around. One eye, but it can see all around same time. That is beyond space. Try to understand this. This is the point I'm driving. Now, this tree has eyes which are beyond space. See, we are conditioned to this space, understand? We cannot comprehend that beyond. But we ourselves have that eye too. See, we have 4 body. One is the real, our Swarupa, right? Swarupa Deha, right? Our dress, everything, name, On top of it, we have a Linga Deha, right? When we Krishna Pulise Jiva Anadi Bahirmukh. As soon as you forget Krishna, boom, right? Maya gives the Linga Deha. And then Aniruddha Deha in the beginning of the time, when we get the Ahamka, right? Then we have the Stula Deha. All the 4 have the eyes. Now we are conditioned to so much outside, we have no access, we have no idea about the subtle body, no? Like, but people are there, like other day I was telling you, a girl who's there in India, who can close your eyes, right? Blindfold, she can read. she can solve the cube, you know, because they are trained, you know, they understand that, you know. So so the same way, this tree, even though it's big, you remember it's going, you know, 40, 50 feet tall, and it's able to see everyone. How is it? There's an eye which is beyond this space. Understand? So same way, if you understand the space and time, then you can understand the Leela of Krishna very easily. How everything is inside of him and also outside of him. You know, we'll come to that maybe today or tomorrow to prove that point. Now, see, you can see this tree is going up. Huh? So now, what about memory? Now, memory required. We calculated human memory. How much memory is there? It comes to about 2018 exabyte. A exabyte meaning 10 to the power of 18. Now this is for the 40-year-old. Our calculation is for a 40-year-old. Now what it means in the today's technology is, if you think about 32 GB pen drive, right? If you take that technology, the semiconductor equivalent to that memory comes to 25 tons, like a Volvo bus. Meaning, if you, the amount of memory that a person has is much more, is like almost like whole world, you know, pen drive, you know, desktop, you know, laptop, all the memory, if you put into one place, more than that memory is there in one point. So that's why we have the recording of millions of lifetimes. What we see, what we perceive, everything is being recorded. You remember the Chitragupta, right? The Maharaja's assistant, right? So he is in effect, he is there in every one of us. We will never run out of memory, you know. So, and everything is there. That's why you can imagine if whole world becomes aware of it. Wait a minute, whatever I am doing is being recorded. How the people will think? Don't you think it change? For example, in a computer, in a computer, right? Administrator, right? In a bank or anything, he knows every key stroke that he makes is being recorded, is being audited, right? And it recorded is audited. That's why he will not go to. Otherwise, it's very easy. For example, imagine if there is a bank. These are being done because computer security. See, if a computer security, if you know what is going on in computer security, I think nobody will go to the bank. I will give an example, a hint. The administrator in a bank, for example, suppose imagine it takes 1 cent or even 1/10 of a cent from every account, adds into his account. You think anybody will notice 1/10 of a cent coming out of your? Nobody will. But how much million times that? How much it will be? You understand? For the whole month, see what I'm saying? Okay. They do those kind of things. Okay. So, but if everybody, but I will tell you, they will also be cut. Why? Because you cannot delete the records. You know, sometimes even though administrator cannot delete, same way we cannot delete. We have no idea where it is recorded because it is done in the subtle body. Understand? It's not in the brain. Brain is just an interface. Mind is something. Okay, body is in the mind, but mind is not in the body. Understand? Tomorrow I will go. Actually, it will help us to solve so many of our psychosomatic diseases. I will give you 4 or 5 examples tomorrow if you come. It will change. It can change people's lives, others, because the more you know about our mind, I will tell you, that is the secret. Maneva manishanam bandha moksha. The more we know, we can get release, and others we can help others. So the body is in the mind, but mind may not be in the body. You get the point? It is again, as I was saying, same thing. The eye. Where is the eye? Remember, it is beyond the space. Same thing, mind. Mind is beyond space. It is not confined to this 3 dimension. Understand? That's why it is able to control all these cells. We have 100 trillion cells. Same time it can control. How it can control? It is able to access all of them same time. Can you imagine that? Unless it is beyond space, it is not possible. See, the same way, if the entire world understand that, wait a minute, we are accountable, everything that I do, watch, everything is recorded, audited, and going to review. Oh boy, I will change my right. You see, so that's what we are hoping, that's what we are hoping. And then look at what is happening inside a cell. You'll see. See, this is 1 meter, right? About 2 meters, 1.5 meter, 2 meters. Right. And then this is the size of the cell, about 80 micrometer, say 100 micrometer. This is the proteins here, and then this is 0.1 atoms. So what is happening inside this cell? How many cells we have? 100 trillion cells, 100 micrometer, right? You will not be able to see with naked eye, right? This one. And these are the proteins. Proteins also takes a unique shape. Remember everything about unique? Proteins also, the shape is also unique. Because of that, the functions happen. This is the just actually scientists does not know from the message protein coming out of the DNA, mRNA to protein, from this to this, believe me or not, today they have no idea. They have no even clue how it is happening. But it is millions of times happening in our body, in everyone's body. Like, for example, what happens in one of these cells, this is the video.
And I want you to look at this and see the paths that the cell manufactures, these little walking machines. They're called kinesins that take these huge loads that would challenge an ant in relative size. Run the movie, please. But these machines that power the inside of the cells are really quite amazing, and they really are the basis of all life, because all of these machines interact with each other, they pass information to each other, they cause different things to happen inside the cell, and the cell will actually manufacture the parts that it needs on the fly from information that's brought from the nucleus by molecules that read the genes. And no life, from the smallest life to everybody here, would be possible without these little micro machines. In fact, it would really, in the absence of these machines, have made the attendance here, Chris, really quite sparse.
See the organelles, how fast it is moving. Individual cell. See this one?
This is the FedEx delivery guy of the cell. This little guy is called a kinesin, and he pulls a sack that's full of brand new manufactured proteins to wherever it's needed in the cell, whether it's to a membrane, whether it's to an organelle, whether it's to build something or repair something. And each of us has about 100,000 of these things running around right now inside each one of your 100 trillion cells. So no matter how lazy you feel, you're not really intrinsically doing nothing. So what I want you to do when you go home is think about this, and think about how powerful our cells are, and think about some of the things that we're learning about cellular mechanics. And once we figure out all that's going on, and believe me, we know almost 1% of what's going on. Once we figure out what's going on, we're really going to be able to have a lot of control over what we do with our health, with what we do with future generations, how long we're going to live, and hopefully we'll be able to use this to discover more truth and more beauty. So it's really quite amazing that these cells, these micro machines, are aware enough of what the cell needs that they do their bidding, they work together, they make the cell do what it needs to do, and their working together helps our bodies, huge entities that they will never see, function properly.
See in this, you saw, see in any company, things being manufactured, right? And they needed somewhere, they be carried, right? So similarly in the cell, 10 micro, 80 micrometer is hardly visible. Naked eye is not visible, microscope. In that proteins is being manufactured. And that needed in some place that needs to be carried. And that's what you saw, the little kinism. And huge, you remember? So what is Hanuman is also carrying like that, right? Now if those things are happening in every cell, why not Hanuman carrying? Is it impossible? See, there is no, they don't ask that question. Wait a minute, what about gravity? How small that little thing moving and how big the protein is? What about weight? See what I'm saying? So the laws are different, under circumstances. So now, same thing with the internet. True, actually, you cannot stop internet even for a minute. We are so dependent on it, like mobile or something like that. Now, same way, the much more complex internet within every cell. For example, in this one, this is mRNA coming out of the nucleus. Nucleus as a DNA, right? From DNA it makes a messenger RNA, and messenger RNA makes the protein. Now you look at the protein making process, how amazing, and believe me, every cell, now we have 100 trillion cells like this.
As soon as a messenger RNA molecule is transported from the nucleus to the cytoplasm, ribosomes begin to translate the sequence into amino acids. Typically, many ribosomes translate the mRNA simultaneously. Each ribosome begins at the 5' end of the mRNA and progresses steadily towards the 3' end. New ribosomes attach to the 5' end at the same rate as the previous ones move out of the way. These multiple initiations allow the cell to make much more protein from a single message than if one ribosome had to complete the task before another could begin. When a ribosome reaches a stop codon, the ribosome and the new protein dissociate from each other and from the mRNA. This electron micrograph depicts a membrane-bound polyribosome from a eukaryotic cell.
Under nanometer. You understand? Under electron microscope. And in the cell, it is all dark, right? Now, how these ribosomes doesn't bump into each other, right? Crashing, right? So many questions, but wait a minute, so orderly. Who is orchestrating this? Don't you think there is some guidance? That too, now, is it one cell, 100 trillion cells, same time, and making so many copies of protein same time? It's an amazing, amazing thing. The Sukshma Deha is orchestrating everything. Because the Sukshma Deha, again I'm telling the point, these are one by one, step at a time, proving that it must be there. And for that, the interliving things cannot come in the way. Bone or skin cannot come, be able to pass through. Like that. Like for example, in this case, this is about 5 millimeters, right? This 5 millimeter scale. Get the idea? And now look at this is 20 days conception, less than 1 millimeter, right? During this stage, how many neurons per minute generated? Produce 250,000 neurons per minute in this stage. All through, but look at 1 millimeter, coming to this stage. So where is the space? And then those not generated, must be connected. It's like the electronic circuit, resistor, capacitor, ICs must be connected properly. And at that time, there is no connection for this entity from the mother. And it doesn't have its own brain. It is actually building its brain. So where it is getting direction is so fast. It has to be so fast. There is no space, understand? So the Sukshma Deha that enter the living entity, which is beyond space and time, is what giving that guidance. So no living, thing can come in the way. You understand? Now, we were talking about the 11th paradox, meaning suppose if there are 100 amino acids, right? These amino acids, like everything in the science, is minimization of energy, right? Time. Like remember, the light takes the least time, no? Same way, minimization of energy in the meaning the protein, the new protein is being prepared as we saw in the mRNA, but it has to take the folding, what do you call it, take the shape, unique shape. Now, how that taking shape, and this is an analysis. Suppose if there is 100 amino acids, 3 possible configurations, how many calculations you have to make? 3 to the power of 100. That means this much, 5 10 to the power 47. If the clock rate is like 10 to the power minus 13 second, picosecond, it takes this much calculation 10 to the power 27 years. Meaning, from our sequential calculation, one protein to fold takes 10 to the power 27 years. Minimum. Whereas actual time taken is 1 second. Wait a minute. How this is accomplished? You understand? This is the problem that scientists are really not able to understand even today. They have used about 300,000 computers, to come about 5 millisecond simulation of the folding. So you can imagine how many proteins are there. Every cell maybe even 100 per second, and then like that 100 trillion cells. So what should be the calculation rate? You see what I'm saying? It is amazing, very amazing. How it is orderly done. So many things. We take it for granted. So many things in our body, we take it for granted. I will tell you, it's really amazing thing. The Sukshma Deha. You can imagine the brain of that personality who was able to accomplish this. Understand? You cannot even conceive of that power of that Lord. And it's still, it contains all of us, everything. And is all. So, and how much love and affection he had. Otherwise, see so many things, like our body, like I was talking to you, produces only dirty things, right? We take nice things, but comes out what? See? And also, he has also given amazing things. For example, like I was talking about Tulsi. Don't take it for Tulsi granted, right? Suppose you are walking somewhere, you step on some urine or some stool, you get contaminated, right? You wash it, right? Now, what about in our body? Urine and stool is always there. How we are pure, how we are doing service to the Chinmaya, right? How is it? Because Tulsi is touching us, we are always pure, always kept pure. Because of the presence of Tulsi touching, Tulsi can continue. So these are all Chinmaya. See, Tulsi is not ordinary. That's why we do not step on the shadow of the Tulsi also. Like Gurudev is walking, we don't step on the shadow because he is Chinmaya. Gurudev's body is Chinmaya. I will tell you because I experienced myself. When he entered Nitya Leela, I had a moment to touch his back. Oh, you can see, I don't know how many were there when Gurudev entered Nitya Leela. You were there. So, like you can see, I was in Bangalore. We got in early, like 5 in the morning. So by the time we arrived, the first flight, and then arrived 24 hours later. And you can see he's there, as if. Then it took another, I think, like probably 12 hours before we put Samadhi. So and it's still like this, touching, it's not cold either, body movement, everything, like this, as if it's not there. So, it's Chinmaya. Otherwise, it's not possible. Ordinary person, there's no way, there's no chance at all. One time, in our Madhva Sampradaya, one Acharya took samadhi, right? After taking samadhi, he was moving around, right? Even when he was around. 10 years later, he came in the dream of his disciple saying, I want to move to another place. And then he appeared in a farmer's same day in a dream. Can you give a little place in your land? Oh, Gurudev, no problem. Then he disappeared. So he came running in the morning after waking up. Oh, Gurudev came in my dream. He wants to have a little piece. Oh, I can give, but I don't know why. Oh yeah, he came in your dream. He came in my dream too. He wants to move from this place. Maybe he wants to move that place. So remember, 10 years. Okay, Samadhi has already given 10 years. Right? Now, because the order of Guru, they have to follow. So you remember, removing the Samadhi, what will they find? Anyway, they did, and they find same intact body 10 years ago. Soft. Like that. Chinmaya, same way, the Tulsi, Ganga, this Gurudev has given this. Otherwise, it's impossible. Like other day, I was giving an example of sleep, right? Even though we are atheistic, even though maybe people are atheistic, without sleep, they will not be able to survive, right? 3 days, they'll be dead and gone. But in sleep, what is happening? They are coming in touch with the Lord. Even though they don't believe it, because anesthesia, right? Because they have no jnana, sambandha jnana, they don't like him. He also doesn't want to, he also come to him without their knowledge. To the extent we believe, trust in him, that's the way he's going to act. If we don't believe him at all, he's going to come invisible to us. Because without coming in touch with us, nothing can survive. So that means his kindness. He is not rejecting anyone by saying, you don't have faith in me, I will reject you. No. See, if that was the case, none of us have a chance. Understand? If Gurudev did not come, you think we had a big qualification? What qualification we had? Actually negative. Right? Still small, not small, negative, big. So, but still he accepted out of causeless. See, that's what I'm saying. That Chinmaya was the Lord has given. He has sent us Gurudev. Ocean of mercy, right? You see, right? In the bhajan you are singing today, right? Guru Pada, is the ocean of mercy, right? So with that only we can survive, not possible. So similarly, we solve this 11th paradox. How? Suppose you suppose you assume 300 nucleic acid, 2 to the power 300, 10 to the power 19. If we sequentially solve, it takes 10 to the power 82 years. You understand? Now, but if you write like this and assume we are processing in each dimension simultaneously at the clock rate, even 2.9 operation comes only 0.3 seconds. See? So that means if we assume independent, that gives to the practical time instead of 10 to the power 82 years. Okay, this is beyond even the age of universe, many times, right? So that shows this process, this model that we give is actually workable. It must be true from this analysis, like that. Now, nature of quantum prajna, from the Madhvacharya. For every action, for every karma, there are two reasons: upadana karana, nimitta karana. Right? That's why we have to understand. We cannot blame anybody. We do not see dosha in anyone. Right? That's why this. Right? Why? Because for that there may be more than one reason. We are seeing only one reason. Wait a minute, there's another which is not visible. That may be prominent, like that. And then it's like a typical example is given in the mud, right? Mud pot. There must be mud and also the maker, right? Nimitta, like that. And also the lemma too, we say the jada, that is insentient beings, also have the birth, existence, death, and dependency. Everything. Anda antarastha, paramanu chaya antarastha. Every anu is being controlled. We saw that, right? We saw the so many cells in the body, the uniqueness. You remember? So that shows they are being all under control. Okay, no one is independent. Only him, Krishna, is supreme independent. And in addition, what about jiva? What is the difference? In addition to those four qualities, four gunas, we have jnana, ajnana, bandha, moksha. Meaning ignorance, knowledge, ignorance, then conditioning, and then liberation. These four, these eight, for the living entity. So one who causes for the unlimited insentient possessing these four characteristics and unlimited living entities and these eight characteristics is called super soul Paramatma. So this is what we are trying to do. Now, depth perception. See, we take it for granted what goes on in our eye, right? We see the eyes, right? We see the depth. Is it not even single eye? You can see the depth. Actually, there is a pilot with single eye. They have given license. You think they will give him license if they are not sure, right? We can perceive depth with single eye. How is it possible? It's really amazing. It's really, really amazing. See, for example, think about the food we put into our mouth, right? The tongue is soft, right? The teeth is like hard, right? How the tongue doesn't get in the way of teeth? Very rarely, right? It is moving the food here and there, but somehow up and down, right? The jaw is moving up and down, right? And the tongue is immediately going in and coming. Now you think there is a camera inside the mouth. My God. What is it? How? Who is guiding it? You remember? Where is that intelligence? You can imagine the Sukshma there, is saying it, is giving instruction, to nerve. Who coming out? So much, so much. So same way in this depth perception also. For example, if you are a civil engineer, you understand how to compute the depth. Suppose, see when the road, you remember sometimes the survey people doing the road, what they do is first they take the angle, this angle, right? And then they go that across and then another angle. And knowing this distance, they can compute this depth by this formula, right? Sin alpha beta, L sin alpha beta. So you have to calculate the trigonometry and all that. Now, you see, you're all seeing this depth, right? Now, see, then you turn around, different thing, turn around, different. Right? By turning, so many points has to be recomputed, you try, remember? So fast, how many times this equation we have to compute? So millions of times. That's why there is a need supercomputer behind every eye. Must be there, otherwise impossible. Now where is it? Understand? It cannot be in the brain. The speed, because the speed of the nerve is very, very small, milliseconds. It needs a picosecond clock time. That shows must be there. Computer. Same thing, like this is a perception. See, there's a year, right? I make another one, same circle. Now, actually, I forgot to bring this scale. Okay. So what I did was associated this A with a bigger circle, right? And then associate B with a small circle. Immediately what happens? A becomes small, B becomes bigger, right? Yeah. Now, if somebody if I would say A and B are actually same. Actually, I forgot to bring this scale. Otherwise, you measure it, you actually have same dimension. Even close your one eye, you will see two different things. But how? If somebody is not sure, you can measure it. It's both same. Is same. Now, it's also telling the implication. See, if you associate with advanced devotees, our problem becomes small. Associated with them who are not advanced, our problem becomes bigger. this, this is coming out of the perception. Same thing, see, this is not there. The brain, the mind is making it up so fast. This triangle is actually not exist, doesn't exist. Mind is making it up. Same thing, same thing with the left ear and the right ear, the correlation. You have to compute this to get the, by hearing, what I'm saying is we hear the direction where they are coming from, the sound. To do that, you need to compute this integration, heavy integration, complex. But we take it for granted, but who is doing it? How fast it has to be computed, see? And then actually I not included so many things. If you take for example, bat, it will blow anybody's mind. Actually, scientists, they actually admit the United States Navy, Navy, because they need the bat kind of, the sonar, right? The bat is moving, it doesn't have eye, in the night time, and it's moving, and then it knows precisely where its prey is. And the prey is also moving, it's also moving, this is also moving. And it has to compute, calculate so many things, and then so it's really, really complex. How it is done? It cannot be by the mind, brain. It has to be a supercomputer, supercomputer. You able to compute these integrations, the cosine, trigonometry, and all that. To do that, how much you see? We have to go to the engineering college, right? Study this, study mathematics. Now you think the bats are all going to the engineering college, but how it is done? This one established the supreme quantum prajna, meaning Paramatma is there, in this example. How? Look at this. What this is the small ants, fire ants, crossing the river, Amazon river, and because they have to migrate, right? They all assembled together, and they see the water, they want to cross. How do they cross? They all come together, and one goes into the water, the other one catches the leg of that, and then other one like that, and then make a boat, nice circular one. And then some other ants are also loading their eggs, food, the queen, and then suddenly they do, and the same thing. Now the thing is, so many of them, so many operations, and who must be guidance there, and how to make a circle. Because of the circle, it is more stable. You see in this one.
Creatures that were once living on the forest floor now need to find other ways of getting around during the flood. The busy life of a fire ant colony has to carry on regardless. By linking legs, the worker ants create a living raft, supported by a surface tension of the water. Free now to move through the forest, these vicious stingers make the most of the flood. They use it to spread to other parts of the Amazon. On this lifeboat, the queen and her young need to be kept safe and dry. But there's no getting away from hungry fish. Once in the open river, they are at the mercy of the current and unpredictable waves. If they are lucky enough to hit land, the soggy ants disentangle and disembark, unloading the family as they go. After a little toweling off, the worker ants soldier on, carefully guiding their queen to safety.
See, this raises a lot of questions. You know? I think time, maybe I will end this, may continue tomorrow. Now, this question, bringing all ants together, coherently, each having its own function, location. See, it's not saying, they are not saying, oh, you go first, I will come later. No, right? they are organizing, and each one is doing this thing cooperatively. You know? And also circular pattern. Now, how do they able to do that? If somebody is telling, hey, a little more this way, that way, this way, you know, there must be somebody who is inspiring, right? Am sarvasya prabho mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante ma. Sarvam pravartate. You know, the one who is giving inspiration must be one. There cannot be two people giving different directions. One person must be there, otherwise how, you know? And also not just giving inspiration, they must be able to follow. See, that's what we see that, you know. Because of circular pattern, the waves, you know, it didn't destroy them, you know, like that. And then, so you show that Paramatma must exist, otherwise it's impossible. Common entity who is giving inspiration to all of them. So this is what it proves, and we can maybe some questions. Yeah, some questions, and we'll continue tomorrow. Tomorrow will get more interesting because the practical aspect, you know, how we can actually practice in our spiritual. So, any questions?
Maharaj, the influence of the demigods, have you taken that also in the calculation?
Influence of the
demigods, the Devas and Devatas, because there's like, for instance, for even blinking the eye, there's a specific Devata that is mentioned in our scripture.
Right. Actually, the spirit comes from that. You know, they are invisible, and many times they are manifest directly, sometimes indirectly. We see most of us normal is indirect. You know. But many times they come directly also. They like one time there was a stone fell in Jagannath Puri from almost 200 feet. You know? 30,000 people and nothing happened. And nothing happened to the stone also. It's about 15 feet length, 5 feet wide, and 3 feet. Probably about 10 tons. The edge like this is still intact. Nothing has happened. Because how? There's a swoop like this. Like a cartoon for them, the gravity doesn't make any difference. Like this. And they give inspire others, they move away. And not even sound. You know?
You had a slide about kosher. That was so fast. Can you show that, please?
Kosher.
Kosher.
Oh.
Is that difficult?
No, it can go back.
For fast.
Maybe I'll skip this. Actually, the kosha.
But background is Ayurveda, right?
This one?
This one, yes.
This is remember the Achedita, Sankujita, Mukalita, Vikasita, Purna Vikasita. It is related to that. See, Annamaya is actually Sankuchita, Achedita, Pranamaya, Sankuchita, Mukalita, Vikasita, Purna Vikasita. No? Same
Nice.
consciousness.
Thank you.
This is in the yoga they talk about this.
Nou, maar dan weer even verder. So this
Yeah.
use also of psychotherapy.
So Maharaj, the demigods are under the supreme consciousness, arranging like everything, like even in the body.
Yeah. It's like, for example, they have the access to the contents of the mind, for example, and then the law of karma and all that. They execute those things.
But they don't have a major role. Their role is minor, or
Yeah, meaning, of course, for us, it's like a car. See, imagine car, the driver. Car does not know. Car does not know there is a driver taking here and there, right? It is actually achadita. It's actually no conscious. So pretty much same in our case. We know little bit, but not much. A little better than car, but but so much activities goes on. You see the inside one's cell, so precise, and also harmonized with all other cells. It's not a single one cell. That's why there is one scientist has written, the bacteria is small but not stupid. Because if you look at the functions as goes on, it cannot be a simple act. And it is intelligent. It can actually change. See, for example, no disease is due to virus, bacteria, genetic disease, really, because the bacteria is able to correct its genetic defects. Then how we can say it is? It is actually the sukshma there, the karma is cause of disease, but not the genes itself. Definitely not the micro organism. How it can influence the mind? How the bacteria can change the content of the mind? You understand? So it is not. That's why rest assured the disease is not there. That's why the Ayurveda does not talk about the microorganism, genetic. It always talks about Trishodha, Vata, Pitta. Why you adjust and you'll be all right. So, and also the Nam. The Nam can change the software. You understand? The sound can change this, the content of the software. So it can delete the past, right? The prarabdha karma. So only bhakti has access to this. See, that's why if the scientist, if we can convince, wait a minute, we have a subtle body. See, for example, I don't understand this. Everybody knows. Every small child also knows. Hey, wait a minute. There's hardware, there's a software. Is it not? Every child knows. Hey, I know the software. They talk about it, right? When you install the software, you think the weight of the computer increases? No, the child knows it. Then wait a minute. It is so complex. Don't we have the software? You understand? Now, if the problem, if they understand that, wait a minute, who wrote the software, where it came how to change, see, suddenly comes the way of changing, right? That's when, you can also change. How? By bhakti, by chanting, by doing ekadasi, by keeping away from onion, garlic. You remember? No? See, for example, every computer gets a virus, right? Even a child knows, right? Everybody knows we get a virus. Now, what is virus? Why do they get? Oh, because computer doesn't have virus protection, right? They install virus protection. What about this? So complex. We also get a living virus. Okay, living virus we get it. Now, what is the living virus? Living virus is, see, when we are born, our duration of life, our wealth, how much wealth we make, how much education we will have, what kind of work we do, the day and time, place where we leave this world is fixed by things. Now, if somebody does a lot of adharma, prohibited activities, his appointed death comes earlier. Okay, that is akala mrityu. Kala mrityu, akala mrityu. Like Ajamil, for example, 12 years earlier, because he did so much sinful. But he was so fortunate, remember, at the time he was able to do Nam Abbas. But not everybody is so fortunate. So what happens is, when they leave this body, they become ghost, right? Ghost. Akala mrityu become, unless you make them, they gave them ekasi, transfer, your good day, ekasi, or Vaishnava, like that. Mostly they will, going around. Now they will have so much desire. Oh, I want to this, so much. But there is no, say, for example, if the virus has a problem only when it enters the computer, right? A virus is floating around. You think it can do anything? They cannot do any harm. By themselves, they cannot do any harm. Only when they enter into the hardware, right? Same way these people. They want to enter. Now, whom do they enter? One who has no virus protection. Who is that? Understand? One who doesn't have kanti mala. One who does not do ekas. Actually, I talked to a ghost. They will tell. I asked this question, through one more. They are nice ones, they are bad ones too. So the nice one was telling, if you are wearing kanti mala, doing ekas in Nam Japa, we don't go near. They appear like fire. They tell, appear like fire for us, we don't near. So if there is a fiery thing, I'm going to put my no. So same way, increasing our living software, living virus protection means we have to follow our sadhana properly. Now, if you do, they cannot. Rather, with this our sadhana, we can maybe donate to them. If the relative somebody, they can be elevated. It can be opposite, can elevate it. So like that, if the community, the education can be convinced about this, I will tell you they will accept the, because it is their benefit. They see that. They have no idea. You can imagine, wait a minute, so much software here. Oh boy, how to see this? How to see my content of my, right? There is no way, there is no machine attaching to see, right? But if we get a glimpse of it, then they will follow these, sadhana. So that's the goal, You have to, but step by step, you have to establish them. You have to bring them to that level. Wait a minute.
Maharaj,
Yeah.
I was telling about the process. The protein came out of the DNA. The protein came out of the DNA, and then the whole process started. Like what you're showing on the film. He was walking, and he was telling us like, how is it possible that in the dark they not collapse? Collapse.
Yeah, by accident.
Yes, but I think the energy fields is like when you have two mechanic, like plus and minus. When you have plus and minus, they come together, but when you have plus plus, this is pushing away from each other. And this way you have some distance, like the planets going around, some energy fields not coming together so that not collapse.
Yeah. So the protein folding, that's what it is. The energy. See, if I understand your question, see there is a DNA inside this cell, nucleus of this cell, right? And then the mRNA, the RNA made a copy of part of it for particular protein. because the message goes, oh, I need this protein, that protein, you know, whatever message that comes out, and then that process made the many copies of protein made. Now those proteins also take this shape. They have to take it, otherwise it will not function. The protein works because of its complex shape, and the shape is unique. Most of the disease is because of the not forming proper shape, you know, the proteins, and also the food. If we take certain food, for example, you know, so many things, it is not possible, you know. So the disease comes in. So that part, true, that positive keeping shape and all that, you know, the energy, you know. But how that happens is I don't think anybody knows, you know, because it is dark. Is inside the body it is dark, you know. Inside the body it is dark. How it is guided, not only guided, how they have to follow that, how, you know, it's really, it's like he's saying 1%. Actually, we don't know. See, our dependency is so much. 99.9999999 is actually controlled by him. Our perception is only maybe 0.0000001%. Maybe. Really. If you understand this. So we are so helpless. We are totally, but we think the other way around. See, the problem is we think the other way around. You know, that is the tragedy. You know, that's why Madhvacharya said that, you know, by knowing, you know, awareness how things are being inside, outside, then we get a glimpse, maybe a glimpse of our Lord. See, not is it 1%? How many percent? How many kind of species? How many kind of, see, the scientists say, you know, the ants, you know, how many ants are there in this world? How many ants are there? They, in the weight, they are more than the weight of the entire human population. Now, one weight of person, say 50 kgs. 50 kgs, how many ants you must have for 50 kgs of human? Like that, all the people, you know, by weight, they were overpowered. So many hands, whatever fish. So each time is so organizingly, so controlling. I will tell you, you cannot even comprehend. Inconceivable. Why is it only one planet? How many planets? Right? Inconceivable planets. How so harmonizingly? How is it doing? And he's still playing, you know, away with the gopis, you know. So tomorrow I will show you some glimpse of that, you know. So that's amazing. That's why we are so fortunate, so fortunate to become.
Maharaja's question, I think Bhagavad Gita Krishna is saying that I am the one who's correcting everything in the body, so it's Paramatma, nothing else. Even the planet is controlled by him. So Bhagavad Gita is giving nobody else can do it. And even when I raise my hand, I think I'm doing. Bhagavad Gita is saying, no, Baba, it's not you doing.
There is a hierarchy of the devatas, and then the top part. It's like in any company, you have, you know, CEO, you know, director, manager, like that. Same way. Any other question?
Please.
Yeah.
If we compare some primitive organisms, like we have seen ants, and compare with the civilization with us, how is possible that we have some paradoxes like suicide or anything which you have seen everywhere? And if you can explain me, please, how is it possible to organize, and what is this? Is that consciousness that we have somewhere on our head? How you can compare this, and what we have make process in our consciousness. How we can make progress like devotees? What is our responsibility there? Because we know we have that high level, but still we don't have some information like some easiest population like atom ants or at level or on cell.
See if I understand the see, that's why Brahmeti Paramatma Bhagavan Vadanti Tat Advaya. See, this large form is Advaya. Advaya meaning two. Advaya opposite two is one, right? Ekam Advitya, Ekameva Paramata. But still he manifests Brahmeti Paramatma. So that Brahmeti, tomorrow we will see, even quantum mechanics, we didn't even touch. Tomorrow we will go so much evidence. So, I mean, right there. You cannot wiggle around, really. Quantum, you cannot wiggle around. You know, Guru Tattva is there. How the two entities entanglement. How in our cell, from the conception of one egg, right, become 2, 4, 6, 8, like that same problem, you know, the entanglement. So the awareness, the whole idea is becoming Brahma, you know, if you become aware of everything, you know, that's what our progress. The progress of bhakti is that we Yoma Pashyati Sarvatra, one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me. Don't we see this one from this person, you know? We see, you know. So that awareness will help us. Then it will also make us free from anxiety, from fear. Hey, wait a minute, I don't have to. No. That's why Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Sarva Dharma, you know, religion connected with the mind, body. You know. Give up, you know, surrender to me. Surrender. You know. Then what does he do? Then he said, do not fear. You know. Of course, that is not bhakti. That is Jnana Mishra Bhakti. You know. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejects that. You know. But still, Lord is saying, you know, you have to come to that, right? See, the Sharanagati is the doorway to the house of Bhakti, right? Sharanagati must be there before, you know, Bhakti begins. You know. So that Sharanagati, understanding of this, yes, he is, you know, you know, Amevasa Mevagre Nan Anya, yes, Sat Asat Prashadam Edetachen, Yo Avashisheta Sosma. Sarvatra Sarva, I am everywhere at all times. So this kind of understanding comes from this, you know, at least I'm speaking about personally, okay. This helped me to progress in that bhakti because I see, wait a minute, wow, this is amazing, you know. I have no control over anything what is happening, right? You know, what is, can I control what is happening in one cell? There are 100 trillion cells. How I can? You cannot. But if you think of him, you know, then he is able to control. See, if you transfer the control to him, this whole idea is to transfer the control. Anyway, we cannot control, you know. The thing is, we cannot control. But we cannot control, and at the same time, we don't want to transfer to him. It's a dilemma. So if we can transfer willingly, knowingly that he is better controller than me, right? So that faith, that is what the faith. Actually, the faith factor is very, very important. Even in material, okay, I was going to give you an example. For example, there's one lady went to a doctor, right, with a symptom of vomiting. And the doctor knowingly, he said, okay, he wrote a prescription and gave it to her. She took prescription, she got cured. Then after 2 days later, doctor comes. Oh, ma'am, are you okay? Oh, I'm perfectly okay. Thank you, doctor. But you know what he wrote the prescription? not to stop the vomiting, not the sugar pill, but to cause vomiting. To cause vomiting. That means if she takes, she should double her vomiting, right? But what happened? Both are stopped. So you think what is that power? Where is it coming from? Is it the brain or in the heart? No, it is in our faith, which in our intelligence. Tomorrow, actually, so many stories are there. How actually is very, very beneficial for our own getting out, getting our life. Not only better in the mundane sense, also spiritually. If we understand this the space independence of the mind, it exists. Once you understand how it is operating, it's like before you attack your enemy, you should know, right, their strategy and all that, right? So mind is our enemy. And we have to make him as a friend. Mana eva manishana bandha moksha. But how to make him our friend? That's the key. That's the key to it. That's what. So any question? Thing is getting.
Tomorrow.
Pancha kalpataru vas patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Thank you, Maharaj.